and it will be Josh Woods to put the ball down on the kicking tee. So it looks like Haven have won the toss, and we're underway here at Mount Pleasant, and it's going to be collected on the full by Jake Carter. Lucas Castle comes a bit too close to him and just has to stop to take the ball, but the Australian's going to be pulled down just short of his own 20. You can hear the Whitehaven fans to our left hand side at the top of the hill here at Mount Pleasant. We won't mention it all too much this afternoon, but it is quite a significant hill here, of course, at Mount Pleasant. Joey Romeo's now the man to fetch it forward. The Whitehaven fullback is going to be wrapped up in centre field now, still 25 metres away from his own line. Bobby Hartley, come off the bench last week, the Leeds Rhinos loanee, the last week of his loan. Newton now finds Hugh Worthington, the Welsh international. He's going to be put down just a couple of metres over his own 40. It's the 5 and last in its centre field, going to go right into the hands of Hannigan. He gets a little bit of a deflection on the kick, but still makes plenty of yards. It bounces and it bounces, and it's going to be collected by Joe Burton on that side, and he'll be wrapped up, pushed back a metre or two, and not the worst start for Whitehaven, Dan.
Yeah, I think if you can be kicking from your own 40 metre, attacking uphill, that's a very good start. Yeah, it's not the best end of set, but I think there were a little bit of a touch from a Batley player, but obviously going backwards. And yeah, they've got some defending to do, but for halfway through the set, and Batley up to the 40, so yeah, not too bad.
So Blake will play the ball. Moore, the Cumbrian, in there at dummy half, looks to scoot himself. Does Brandon Moore, of course, played in Kyle Amor's testimonial game at the back end of last season. Don't imagine 12 months later he thought he'd be coming up against him as a head coach, but there we go. Goes towards the middle now with Gledhill. Gledhill shapes to throw the pass, but takes the line on himself. They're over halfway now, are the Bulldogs, but it is the 5 and last, and they're short of the Whitehaven 40. Goes left into the hands then of Josh Woods. Sporting a skinhead is Josh Woods. Joey Romeo underneath that and able to collect it on the full is the Australian, soon met by the Batley defence. He's going to be pushed back 3 or 4 metres, throws it away into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan, and it says it come off a Batley man, so it is 0 tackle, although Hannigan's going to be knocked back there as well. Overall wrapped up on his own 20 metres.
Yeah, very good take. A bit of confusion maybe there. He didn't know how far he was going to get taken back, Joey Romeo, so he decided to put the offload in. But he's paid off in the end, and they're coming up to their own 30 metre, and wanting to end the set as good as they possibly can. We've got a few more left up the sleeve.
Castle fetches the ball forward. Callum Shaw played the ball before that. Castle brought down 2 metres short of his own 40. It's now Worthington will fetch it forward, look to try and make over halfway with the Welsh international. He'll end up exactly on it. Still a couple of tackles left in this set following that 6 again call, and Bobby Hartley will now be the man to fetch it forward. It is the 5 and last now, just short of the Batley 40. 3 minutes gone. It'll be Carter the ball comes to. He's going to put it up end over end, and it'll be Dale Morton underneath it. The Whitehaven chase is right in front of him, nearly lost it in Morton, but then found Hurley. McCannon's going to come down and close that gap, and Worthington helps him complete the tackle. Hurley plays it 20 metres out. Again,
another 40 metres made in possession there from Whitehaven. Some big carries there, like Sir Worthington, Bobby Hartley getting involved, so that's what they need to do. Just keep taking it up the middle. They don't need to be doing any fancy stuff, especially in these conditions. It's still raining here in Batley, but not as bad as earlier.
So Elliot Keir, another Welsh international out there, who's going to play this ball on his own 14 at centre field. Moore in there at dummy half will go left into the hands of Adam Gledhill, and Gledhill's going to be taken down, wrapped up, put down onto the floor just over halfway. It's a 6 again though in favour of the home side, so fresh set of 6 coming down the hill, and it'll be James Brown now, the man to fetch it forward. Moore, and look to scoot from dummy half. James Newton tried to stop him but couldn't do it, and he has continued then to make 10-12 metres as the Cumbrian. 4 minutes gone. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Batley throw it left into the hands of Woods. Pops it, going to get across to Dame Manning, and Manning's being wrapped up pretty much as he's taken that ball. 10 metres out now to the left hand side of the post, going down the hill here at Mount Pleasant. Brown is in there at dummy half, comes right to Woods, just pops it up to Gledhill. Castle's there, Corkill's there, Will Evans is involved. Still a couple of tackles left for the home side. They're within 10 metres. Going to come right now into the hands of Josh Woods. Throws a dummy, does Woods, steps back inside, and he's going to be fetched down just short. Is Josh Woods looking for his only second try of the season. It's a 5 and last. Comes right. Couple of pairs of hands. Hurley out the back. Curtis T is able to wrap him up. Fantastic work from Curtis T. Back in the centres. Whitehaven survive. back-to-back sets of 6 there, and will play this ball just short of their own 10 metres.
Yeah, the first real defensive test for Whitehaven passed with flying colours there, to be fair. It's really good. You expect Luke Cooley to do a bit more on the last tackle, but yeah, he just managed to get wrapped up pretty easily, and that looked a little high, but he's let go. So yeah, still coming away from deep. Some big carries needed here.
Papua New Guinea and Dean Gebby makes his first carry from what I can remember so far this afternoon, 20 metres. As he plays his ball, incorrect play of the ball. I think he might have got away with one there. Has the Papua New Guinea in. Joey Romeo will be the man to fetch it forward now. On his own 30. Newton in there at dummy half. Castle out the back to Carter. Looking to play here to Whitehaven McCarran. Looking to try and go on the edge and find Kia. Kia seeing exactly what was happening, however, and was able to wrap the former Waff Brown man up. 35 metres away from his own line. McCarran now looking to fetch it forward, the Australian. 5 and last and 5 short of their own halfway. Sort of 15 metres in from this near side touchline in the main stand here at Batley. Carter will put the kick in over the top, trying to find a bit of grass, but it's going to be collected by Joe Burton. Burton will be the man to fetch it forward, and it's going to be wrapped up 20 metres or 30 metres away from his own line.
Again, solid metres once again from Whitehaven there, so you can't really complain. But after the last defensive set, where there were a 6 again in there, and you don't want to be conceding another one, don't want to be conceding a penalty. So let's see how squeaky clean they can possibly be here.
Only one marker in there. Will Evans got caught behind the play of the ball, so they're able to make a good few metres there. The Bulldogs made it to just over halfway with a good couple of tackles left in the bank. Going to come right from dummy half into the hands of Brown, out the back then into Ben White's hand, and White just pops it up to the tall figure of a man of Lucas Walshaw. He walked past me earlier on and I'm like, you're huge. But it's still a couple of tackles left here. Goes into the middle now with James Brown. He just pops it back inside to Gledhill. Try and get his arm free, but there's 3 involved in that tackle. It's the 5 and last. 6.5 gone here at Mount Pleasant. Still 0-0. Josh Woods puts the kick in towards the corner. Try and put plenty of pressure on the Papua New Guinean. He's able to collect that and nearly got through. There's nearly a little gap for him to utilise, but the Batley defence right on top of the Papua New Guinean, and he's been wrapped up behind his own 10 metres.
Yeah, both sides trying to be as squeaky clean as possible, and there's been no errors so far by either side, which is pretty decent. 7 minutes in, so again Whitehaven stuck in their own territory. A few tackles in, got up to about the 20 metre mark, so we'll see how far they can get before putting in the kick. More than likely from Carter, but we'll see if Hannigan also gets his hands on the ball. So
Corkville's going to be in the man wrapped up. Swinton 0, Doncaster 4 is an early score from Harewood Road. Keighley leads 6-0 at Cougar Park as well. Whitehaven have been stopped only to their own 30 then. It's going to be the 5 and last. Carter will get the kick in. He'll need to get a good bounce here. Dale Morton, and just comes off his foot. Does Morton, and bounces kindly into his hands, and he's going to be wrapped up around his own 40. Batley starting to win the territory battle there, Dan.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, these are big sets coming up, big defensive sets, especially for Whitehaven. We're going to be praying, hopefully, to force a Batley error at some point, just to kind of get a little bit of a breather, because they're just constantly starting from deep inside their own half, right at the bottom of that hill, and it's a long way up. Those Whitehaven fans from the bottom of the hill will be very little in the fans in the players' mind.
So ball coming right now, a couple of pairs of hands into the hands of Ben White. Ben White looks to step inside of Carter, but he's been able to be brought down there, and he's lost the ball there. That's the error. He said they needed to force down Fowler as Ben White has hit the floor. Carter and McCarran affecting the tackle into the 9th minute here at Mount Pleasant. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Bulldogs 0, Haven 0.
A reverse commentator's curse, I think that one you can call that one. But yeah, it's exactly what Whitehaven needed. They did force the error. It can be a bit slippy, I assume. Once the ball goes to ground, the arm goes to ground, to try and keep hold of it, it'll be a bit of a bar of soap, and we'll see where Whitehaven what Whitehaven can do from here. About 30 metres out from their own line, so yeah, just need to complete the set, nothing stupid, and just see if they can force another error, but in the Batley half this time.
So Evans will play the ball, took the ball from the base of the scrum. It's now Dean Gebby, just pushes his man off, and seen that quite a few times in the last couple of weeks from Dean Gebby. But he's being wrapped up on his own 40, plays the ball, Newton in there at dummy half, finds Bobby Hartley, and Hartley will be the man to keep his legs pumping. Just going to be short of halfway is the Leeds Rhinos loanee. Comes into the hands now of Carter, Hugh Worthing, and takes the pop-off pass, but Batley defence knew exactly what was coming and have been able to nail the Welsh international coming down the short side now with Carter trying to find a gap there. Is the former Barrow Raider. It's the 5 and last, and they're going to be 35 metres away from the Bulldogs line. Goes right now into the hands of Hannigan, and Hannigan gets the kick going up, and Hurley's going to be under plenty of pressure, and he's going to be nearly nailed there by Callum Shaw. He was looking for his own try line. Hurley's nearly through, calling for a penalty was Curtis Tier, being obstructed by Elliot Keir, or at least he thought he was, but he wasn't. 15 metres out, Milton now to fetch the ball forward. Hugh Worthington's going for the HIA, the physio calls a HIA. I don't think you'd imagine Ryan King, so we're going to have a stoppage in play here. Exactly 10 minutes on the clock, and the physio's calling for the HIA on Hugh Worthington.
Probably the worst thing that could have happened, bar a try for Batley, I think, for Whitehaven, given the numbers situation. But yeah, we'll have to see if he can pass it. But yeah, it's been a territory battle, as you've been saying, with the forwards, and yeah, when Hooley breaks there from near towards his own try line, you start to worry a little bit. But they managed to wrap him up. They're about two tackles in, Batley, and just over their 20-metre mark. But yeah, it's not ideal this for Whitehaven by any stretch of the imagination.
So Sam Ackroyd has gone out. Are we going to see Newton to 13 or Ackroyd to 13? Probably Hartley to prop. Yeah. But Hugh Worthington straight away going with the doctor, and we're back underway here at Mount Pleasant. The Bulldogs fetch the ball forward, met there by Ackroyd, involved straight away Castle and McCarran. Looks at it is Hartley that's gone to loose forward, well, into the middle at least. Newton looks to be potentially in at loose forward. We'll pop the ball up now, and it's Dame Manning who'll look to fetch it forward on halfway. He'll play this ball towards the middle now with James Brown. Brown takes it and runs across the line. Initially looking for the pass out the back, but wasn't too much on, and it means that Castle, Ackroyd and James Newton gets to complete the tackle. It's the 5 and last into the hands of White. White's going to get the kick down. Joey Romeo should have a little bit more time there in front of him, and he does. This is the Australian, but he's going to be wrapped up just over his own 10 metres. Ackroyd will dive in at dummy half. Callum Shaw now the man to fetch it forward. Owen McCarran struggling to get back into the line, nearly going over the horizontal there, you'd imagine, was Callum Shaw, but referee Cameron Worsley not too interested in it. Curtis Tier nearly gets out of the clutches of Elliot Keir, but he's going to be hauled down just short of his own 30. Ryan King taking his jacket off down below us, so it'll be interesting to see if another early change is going to be made here from Kyle Amor. I suppose you don't have to worry about burning through interchanges all too much when you've only got 2 of them. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half. Hannigan now pops it up to Bobby Hartley, trying to spin out to the tackle. And Whitehaven on the 5 and last, only on their own 40 once more. Goes right. Hannigan's going to get the kick in. Could he try and get it in? Does get it behind Hurley, and he should sit up in the hill. Fantastic kick from Hannigan, and Hurley collects exactly on his own try line. It was a crossfield kick, and it has mean Hurley's been nailed behind his own 10 metres.
That's terrific. Really good.
And then he's given the penalty, I think, for, is it the flop?
Yeah, it's a flop. Yeah.
Well, he's given it against the wrong man if he has, because it was Corkill that jumped on him. He's pointing at Sam Ackroyd.
It's tough, but I think it's probably the right call. But yeah, once you've Hannigan must be spitting feathers, because you've done really well to get Hooley there on his own 10 metres, and just need to pin him back as much as you can going down the hill. And it's a cheap one, a real cheap one. And there's another physio.
Yeah, the Whitehaven physio just strapping up with Curtis Tier there, potentially some strapping on a wrist for Tier. But fantastic defence from Whitehaven. Keep pushing the man back. They've pushed the Batley man back there, 10, 11, 12 metres. It's Elliot Keir, you don't see that all that often, and it's now James Brown that fetches the man forward, but he just pushes Sam Ackroyd out the way and takes another 3 Whitehaven defenders to fetch him down, with just around 12 and a half gone here at Mount Pleasant. Still 0-0. Goes left now into the hands of White. Woods takes the line on, now finds Hurley, goes out the cross then to Caden Buchanan. Buchanan will be the man that's taken down. Comes back towards now with Josh Woods. Woods offs it up once, then pops it up into the hands of Luke Blake. Blake will be wrapped up the loose forward. Still a good couple of tackles left in this set. Batley going to be knocking on the door. Comes right into the hands of Woods. Newton chases up in defence, now finds White, comes across to Walshaw, and Walshaw's going to be the man that's wrapped up. 3 involved in that tackle. It's a 5 and last. Whitehaven have 1 more to survive. Tick over into the 14th minute. Comes left into the hands of Brown, then comes across to Blake, then going to be knocked on by James Brown. Gets it off all the way to Joey Romeo, and Romeo's away. He's coming up the middle of the field. Just needs to get hold of the ball. Finds a Dean Gibby. The Papua New Guinean's away, and he's not going to be stopped. It's the Papua New Guinean. Whitehaven have turned defence into attack, and Whitehaven are going to get the first try of the afternoon. It's the Papua New Guinean and Dean Gibby, but that all stems back to Joey Romeo fetching the ball forward. Fantastic from Whitehaven. The fantastic transition from defence to attack into the 14th minute here at Mount Pleasant. It's Batley 0, Haven 4.
as someone who doesn't watch Whitehaven every week, you need your X-Factor players, and Joey Romeo and Eddie Ngebi are exactly that, and they've just shown it there in all the glory. That's absolutely, that's stupendous, is that? It really is. Just under so much pressure, and it looked like could they break the barrier? Could Batley break through the Whitehaven defence? And it's quite the opposite, because for all Joey Romeo, he could have easily just taken the tackle on halfway, but he's found the offload to Ngebi, and there's no stopping him after he's ducked out of one of the oncoming Batley players. Absolutely brilliant. It's a great start for Whitehaven. It's exactly what they needed.
Especially after losing Hugh Worthington, having forced into that 100%. Early change. It'll be interesting to see if the Welsh International League's going to come back. Ryan King's getting some strapping and a half. We said there was no strapping on his knee in the warm-up, didn't we, Dan Fowler? Yes, but he's getting some strapping. Looks like potentially he's even going to be some... I was wondering, what initially I've seen some ice going on there. He's maybe going to try and go out with some ice. Yeah, he's putting as much on as he can there himself now, Ryan King, as well as the physio. Just going out to Curtis Tier once more.
He did look pretty light though in the warm-up. He were obviously, it's like the world's biggest halfback, but you know he can be anyway. But yeah, he looked pretty light. He was running about, so yeah, you don't know the extent of the injury, but he's going to put it all on the line for Whitehaven for as long as he's a Whitehaven player. Obviously.
Yeah, so obviously, of course, that move to Barrow announced earlier this week from the Raiders and Whitehaven. Hannigan knocks over the extras, so it is 6-0 here for the Cumbrians. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online, and it is now Batley 0, Haven 6. And like you say, after surviving obviously what they've gone through in the opening for sort of 13 or 14 minutes, Dan, fantastic that they've got points on the board.
Absolutely, a big set coming up here. They need to complete the set, try and pin Batley back as much as they possibly can. I mean, we've seen them scored from their own 10-metre line, so why not go again? But we don't want to be too greedy at this point. So yeah, it'll be a case of just making sure you complete your sets, just exactly what Kyle Amor would have said to his players before the game.
So Lucas Castle, the fetched forward, calls for a high tackle on Castle. Cameron Worsley says it was on his chest. Ackroyd will lie in wait at dummy half, 20 metres out from their own line. McCarran now the man to fetch it forward. He's going to be more strapping the man out there, is Ryan King, if he carries on. It's Ackroyd in a dummy half once more. Now comes into the hands of Bobby Hartley, more towards centre field now on his own 30-metre line. Going to come down this short left-hand side into the hands of Curtis Tier. And he's going to make it to just over his own 40. Comes right now into the hands of James Newton, who is in at loose forward, and Whitehaven will find themselves over halfway here. Is this going to be the 5 and last? Yes, it is. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half, goes right. No, it doesn't come down the short side into the hands of Carter. Fantastic game management if he finds the touchline. Hurley's forced into taking it all over 2 or 3 metres away from his own line. Fantastic shot from Curtis Tier, and Sam Ackroyd gives up and gives him the hacker there as well. Fantastic from Whitehaven.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Again, you don't want to get too carried away. Look, he could have been overly horizontal. But yeah, it's one of those. Just stay on sides. Just make sure and over the shoulder again. 3 tackles in. Batley only just out of their own 10 metres. It's brilliant from Whitehaven so far.
It's now Elliot Keir, the man to fetch it forward, and the Welsh International will be wrapped up. Oh, sorry, Dale Morton. It was Dale Morton. James Brown instead. Now the man to fetch it forward, and he's going to be pulled up short of his own 30, and it is the 5 and last, pulled behind their own 30, and it'll be Josh Woods to get the kick in. It's going to be a good kick from Woods, and it's going to bounce and roll along. Bounces kindly into the hands of Callum Shaw, but he's able to fetch the ball forward. Is the former Hull FC man, goes around Buchanan and Burton, and then he's going to be playing this ball 10 short of halfway. Much better starting position for Whitehaven.
All the turns have tabled here. It's brilliant from Whitehaven so far.
Kevin goes down the right hand side. The Papua New Guinea trying to stay in touch, and he has to put the ball forward or try and kick the ball forward, but the judge puts his flag up in the air. It was nearly down the right hand side, was the Papua New Guinean. He said Whitehaven needed the X factor, just a little bit too much there from Ngebi. Just he needed another half an inch or an inch extra on that touchline.
Yeah, I think so. You know what you're going to get from Eddie Ngebi. It can be a match winner, it can be a match loser, but it's one of those things that's what you get with him, and you know it's always going to be exciting. It's edge of your seat stuff, even for those that are stood up.
So Batley will fetch this ball forward. Just nearly had chips and tomato sauce all over my shoes. A little one of the Batley just nearly I don't know, thanks. Especially not over me white trainers. Ball goes left now into the hands of Hurley. Hurley throws the dummy nearly through there, but he's going to be wrapped up, brought down. Hannigan and Rio Corkill 20 metres out here. are the Bulldogs. Goes right now into the hands of Woods. Woods just pops it up to James Brown, and he'll run at Lachlan Hannigan. I don't know why they do, because he tackles well above his size there, does Lachlan Hannigan. But he plays it 12, 13 metres out, back towards the middle now with Josh Woods. Woods out then to White. White then comes across to Walshaw. Didn't have numbers, did Batley, so just took it on themselves. Just about to tick over into the 20th minute. Still Batley 0, Haven 6. Movers in there at dummy half, goes towards the middle now with White, then finds Woods, then he has to go on, that's going to be called forward. It didn't get him, made the decision to come in to close down that space, and it was a good decision from the Papua New Guinean. He's forced the error with Batley knocking the ball forward, and it's going to be a play the ball for Whitehaven 10 metres out.
It was a case of needs must, I think, from Gebby Lair as well. It were a 3v2, so he has to rush, and I think if I saw a Dean Gebby running at me like that, I would have done the same thing, I think.
Well, I just wouldn't have been there, let's be completely honest,
fair,
you know what I mean? We both of us wouldn't have been there, Dan.
I get bullied by Menzies every time I see him, to be fair, so you know, it's one of those things. It's the PNG lads. Yeah,
Menzies Yuri, of course, obviously the former Sheffield man.
Sir Menzies.
Sir Menzies Yuri, yeah, we'll go with that. I'm quite a fan of Menzies.
He has met the Queen. He did meet the Queen.
Fair dues. As Whitehaven are fetching the ball forward now with Rio Corkill. This will be second tackle. Corkill's going to be playing this ball on his own 20 metres. Ackroyd's in a dummy half. And Joey Romeo trying to help his forwards out here, and the Australian's going to make 5 or 6 metres, be pushed back then a metre or two. Comes across then now to Lucas Castle. And Castle will be the man that's going to be taken down just over his own 30, finds his front. Ackroyd comes down this short side into the hands of James Newton, of course, in his testimonial year. In at loose forward, and that's been stripped 1-on-1 by Lucas Walshaw, and it isn't what Whitehaven wanted, and Batley will start this set 40 metres out from the Whitehaven line.
I don't know if Newton thought there were 2 men on him and he's just kind of let it go a little bit, but that's but there was only one in there, so yeah. And Lucas Walshaw, he's a very good player at this level and has been for at least a decade, so yeah, he's giving his side a good platform here to attack from.
James Brown will be the man to fetch it forward. And he's going to be pushed sideways, backwards, whichever way you want James Brown, but it's 2 Whitehaven defenders on him. Falls down, hits the floor, I think looking for the 6 again or a penalty, but comes right now into the hands of Woods. Finds White, back inside then to Hooley, and it'll be Sam Ackroyd that's there to complete that tackle. But less than 10 metres out now. Comes left into the hands of Gledhill, out the back to Woods. Woods throws it up, offers it up once, offers it up twice, and then gets it away to Dame Manning. And Manning's going to be brought down short, only a metre short. It's the 5 and last. Whitehaven have 1 more to survive. And he's going to try and go himself. He's Brandon Moore as he's got his overall forward. He has the Cumbrian. It's his 5th try of the season for the Mary Potts born Brandon Moore against the Cumbrians. It is now Batley 4, Haven 6.
It's so soft. Just a little crash over. It's almost like you could see it coming when Dame Manning's held up a metre away from the line. It's just so easy for just a big guy like Moore to just barge over. I think it'd have been much more ideal for Whitehaven if they'd have just held Manning up over the line, get him back 10 metres and just reset. But just couldn't do that, and yeah, now it will be a level game because it's pretty close to open for the reverse psychology again, but it will be 6-all in just a 30 seconds time. And we've got the HIA man back out, so I don't know, I'm going to assume it's passed, maybe, but
hopefully. It's the fact that he hasn't been changed or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll take that. See if we can get some scores from elsewhere around Rugby League this afternoon. It is Halifax 8, Bradford 6, Swinton 6, Doncaster 10, Hunslet 0, Midland 6, and Keighley 10, Rochdale 0. Midland's going to Rochdale next week, essentially.
Yeah, Midland's going well. We've got a couple of the Eagles lads there.
Yeah, Matty Crimes, Jason Bass.
Ryan Johnson, who's leaving. Yeah. I don't know if Midlands will be snapping him up, and Lewis Peachy as well. So yeah, they've got some good players there. So not surprising. Jake Mamo's not played a game since signing for him.
Yeah, you wonder what all that was about, wouldn't you? But
IMG, social engagement.
Yeah, so Josh Woods was able to knock the extras over here at Mount Pleasant. So as Dan Fowler correctly predicted, it is Batley 6, Haven 6. It looks to be a big plus that Hugh Worthington we're looking that he will be able to return to the field. So giving Whitehaven a full complement of 2 on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, Bobby Hartley's been going through the absolute mill. He's just been doing so much for the team. He's from good stock, obviously, in the Leeds Academy. So yeah, they're back underway.
Morton's going to collect from the kick-off and get it inside to White. White will then look to get it to one of his big men in Adam Gledhill. But Castle meets him, Hartley's involved, Sam Ackroyd is there as well. 15 metres out, first tackle goes into the middle now with James Brown. And Brown will be the man looking to spin out to that tackle. He's made 10, 12, 13 metres there before being pulled down. As James Brown, a Batley stalwart of course, been here for a number of years. Moore scoots initially from dummy half before finding Luke Blake, and Blake's going to be put down onto his back just over his own 40, pretty much in at centre field, a little bit to the left. Moore's going to bring it back to the middle now with Gledhill once more. Ackroyd's in there and he's lost the ball there. Penalty, says referee Cameron Worsley. He says it must have been Ackroyd that had stripped that. Ackroyd's fighting his case, but I've still never seen a referee change his mind yet, and it's going to be a penalty to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bit of old manning going on there, because I think he's both wrapped up, but yeah, it just seems like he let the ball go a little too easily. But yeah, it's one of those, when there's two in the tackle, you run the risk.
You certainly do. So it'll be the Bulldogs that takes the tap and fetch it forward. It'll be Buchanan that's going to be taken down just short of the Whitehaven 10 metres. Comes right now into the hands of James Brown. Takes on himself. The target and Ackroyd out there, aren't they, Batley? But it's going to be just short of the defence, of the try line I should say. Comes right now into the hands of Blake. Blake's going to try and spin out to these tackles, and he'll be 2 or 3 metres out will Luke Blake. We make it with just about to tick over into 26 gone here to Batley. The ball hits the floor, knock on, and Whitehaven are going to be able, it says knocked down from James Newton, so it could be or should be, it's going to be scrum down head and feed here to the Bulldogs. It is, and will they elect to take it in the middle or do what some sides, or plenty of sides, have been doing in the last few weeks and taking it to the side and trying to go play from player one. Batley have elected to go for the middle.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They seem to have got numbers quite often down this left-hand side or right-hand side for Whitehaven, the Gebby side. So we'll see if they can try and work something from the scrum here. No, just they need to feed it again. Whitehaven
had a man short on that side. Batley's got 4 and 2 split. Whitehaven are 3 and 3. Haven't really realised. Corkill's come out the scrum now. Ackroyd's broke out of the back, so Ackroyd gets involved here. It will be a penalty. And it is going to be a penalty because Ackroyd broke from the scrum early.
Yeah, will they roll it or will they take the 2? It seems like they've got Whitehaven on the hook here, so they're going to go again.
Scrum, yeah. Obviously, you almost forgot until probably in the last couple of years that was an option. I don't know, we'll just reset a scrum. We'll just take
absolutely,
it.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. It's a good attacking tactic, really, as well, especially when holding the ball in the scrum as well, which they have done.
Still a number short on that right-hand side. Whitehaven do push from the scrum. Corkill, who was in the scrum, being able to try and get involved on Josh Woods, and he's going to be held up over the line there. Lucas Castle's now the man who has left the field. Hugh Worthington, I believe, has gone back out, so he has passed his HIA, has Worthington. So it's still just 2 interchanges for Whitehaven, obviously with initially being a HIA. But then it's going to be Batley who'll fetch this ball forward. Batley man's pulled down just short of the try line. Moves in there at dummy half. Comes right into the hands of White. And it's going to be a drop ball from Elliot Keir, and plenty of pressure put on the Welsh international and Dan Fowler. It's almost like I've got a Whitehaven fan next to me here.
I know, Liam Laws won't be happy. They're not listening. It's fine. So, but yeah, it's good from Whitehaven. Really good. It's they needed that. Like I was saying, they got them on the rack a little bit, and it's if they score there and then they go back to back, and then you really are again an uphill task. But yeah, well, Ryan King back out as.
Yeah, he hasn't been on them. Just the one interchange. Actually, I thought I'd seen him go on, but looks like he's been to the changing room. Ball comes right from the base of the scrum into the hands of the Papua New Guinean Dean Gebby, and he's going to be brought down 12-13 metres out. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half. Now Will Evans. Batley's line speed on point there, and just able to pull the Welsh international down just short of his own, on his own 20 metres. It's now Hugh Worthington. He'll now fetch his ball forward. Looks like Batley's going to get ready to make a change there as well. And now McCarran, the man to fetch it forward. He's going to take it just over his own 30. Whitehaven finding it tough going here. It'll be Luke Cooper getting ready to come on for the Bulldogs. Bobby Hartley's now going to continue to fetch it forward, calling for a high shot with a couple of the Whitehaven players there, but it's the 5-man last, just short of their own 40. Comes into the hands now of Carter. Carter gets it away left-footed, and it will be collected on the full by Joe Burton. Scored 20 tries this season as Joe Burton, and he's going to be pulled down just short of his own 40, well, on his own 40 I should say, 10 short of halfway.
Yeah, it seems like Batley are going to be turning the screw with this forward rotation. Brown coming off and Cooper, a much more direct player. Brown, he's not very happy that he's coming off as well, but he seems to be more of a ball player and has been for a while, because he's like you say, a Batley stalwart. So we'll see what Cooper, his first carry here, he's gone another 5 metres.
Yeah, not happy at all, knocking water bottles off as he goes left now into the hands of Blake. Blake now finds Woods, going to run it across the line, obviously at once, then goes out to White looking to step back inside. Hannigan's there, of course, as he has been named in the championship team of the month, as Lachlan Hannigan, despite obviously all of Whitehaven's issues. Just shows what a last few weeks he has had. Just looking for the little kick over the top. Joey Romeo's going to have to try and get there. Bounces into Hurley and goes left into the hands of Dame Manning. Noticed that Romeo wasn't where he should be in the middle, potentially. Maybe shouldn't have been, but he wasn't at home in the middle. And it's the home side second of the afternoon. It's Dame Manning's 6th try of the campaign. And Batley take the lead for the first time as we just tick over into half an hour gone here at Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, it's a brilliant heads-up play from Batley, to be fair. They've seen the space in behind the defence and they've kicked it right in there. It's all on the bounce of the ball and it's absolutely perfect, and Manning's in support. And yeah, it's a tough one to take for Whitehaven, but like we've been saying, Batley, they've got just having the full complement of substitutions on the bench just does the world of difference. Cooper had a big drive in there on his first hit up. They're going to be bringing Niall Flynn on soon for Luke Blake as well, so they're really just freshening it up, whereas Whitehaven really can't. And I think Ryan King might be about to come on as well, so it's good news for Whitehaven. Hopefully he can hold out as well. So, but yeah, this will be 12-6 in 30 seconds of time.
Yeah, so it will be. I think he's just Josh Woods does knock it over here, and Ryan King is going to enter the fray. Just trying to see who'll be leaving the field for King, but it is now Batley 12, Haven 6. As you mentioned, the strapping on that left leg, the strapping on his right arm, the strapping on his left wrist is Ryan King. He said it resembles more Tutankhamun than anything else, and it looks to be Bobby Hartley will be the man that's leaving the field.
A good choice, to be fair. He's gone through a lot of work in this half an hour, the young lad. He's done really well. He's been one of the standouts for Whitehaven, especially with it being such a midfield battle, a forwards battle, and he's really dug in for his side, and he'll probably be resting for the next 10 minutes until half time, I think, more than likely.
Game is back underway. Carter with the kick-off, collected on the full by Dale Morton, and it'll be Cooper the man to fetch it forward. Runs at Ackroyd, and be fair to Ackroyd, while he hasn't stopped him, he's been able to keep a hold in that tackle. Paz put him on his back, as you heard Dan Fowler say there. Weir in a dummy half into the hands now of Morton, who's got through a lot of work fetching the ball forward. As the former Dewsbury Ram, say that quietly around here. Weir's in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of Gledhill, and he's going to be taken down on his own 40 I should say. Weir scoots from dummy half, then goes left into the hands of Hurley. Hurley's nearly through there, he's Luke Hurley, but just pulled back. Combination McCannon, no, not McCannon, it will have been Hannigan and Corkill the major factor in that, and it's now then Niall Flynn, and ball hits the floor there. Good work from Whitehaven, hits the floor on contact. Is it Hannigan once more? I think they put the shot on. I think it is. It was scrum down, head and feet to Haven, just over their own 30.
Yeah, Mark Moxon at half time, I might need to say stop running at him, because he's done really. Hooley's nearly almost at full flight there, and he's done absolutely brilliantly to make sure to get him down. And then the very next tackle, they've gone back to him because they think he's not set, and he's put on a great shot on Niall Flynn, who's coughed the ball up. So yeah, just need to again like a record player that's stuck. Need to completely set here.
Carter looking to fetch the ball forward from the scrum. Dan Fowler thought exactly the same as I thought. The Carter was going to get dragged over there. Paul, that's going to be a penalty. It's actually the first penalty of the afternoon for Whitehaven, and that was just stupid, absolute stupidity from Lucas Walshaw. He just seen the ball there and then he just went bump. Yeah. Just there we go. I'm going to slap that out your hands.
Only right in front of the referee.
Yeah, only right in front of the referee and the touch judge. Although we're saying that what that meant to Baddo last week. Oh. No further comment on that before I get myself in trouble. But it'll be Callum Shaw who's going to be gets the ball from the touchline. It'll be Curtis T at the take the tackle and gets it across to Owen McCarran. Whitehaven are in Batley's half here. McCarran is going to be the man taken down, sort of 36, 37 metres away from the Batley line. Hugh Worthington is now the man to fetch it forward. He's pulled down 28 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the post. Into the middle now with Hannigan. Comes across to King. First time he takes the ball in, does the Italian international. How will he fare up? Fares up okay, plays the ball 20 metres out, comes left into the hands of Newton, out the back to Carter, comes across to Joey Romeo. They've got numbers here. Callum Shaw, wasn't the best pass from Romeo into the hands of Shaw, and I think Curtis T is probably going to say, Joey, you needed to pass that ball to me rather than going out to Callum Shaw. The pass wasn't the best, and Shaw's been bundled over the touchline.
Yeah, he's gone for the Hollywood, hasn't he, Lair? He's gone for the Hollywood pass, and it wasn't on. Yeah, just needed a bit more composure there in the final third. They've not turned it over in a bad place, but you've just got to make sure you're not compounding that error with another one in defence.
That rain is battering down now here at Mount Pleasant. Batley 12, Haven 6. Scoreboard's nice as 9. Oh, that's surely wrong. They've gone back there. I make it within until sort of 6 minutes to go. I haven't missed that much. Someone, yeah. We'll keep an eye on that. But King and Hannigan wrapped up in the tackle. Well, wrap up the Batley man. It's now Flynn. He'll fetch it forward. Just over his own 30 here is Niall Flynn. Mover's still up there in dummy half. Comes back all right now. Comes out to Woods. Woods then finds White, and White just stands up. Did have numbers there if they wanted it. Did the home side. Plays it 5 short of halfway. Elliot Keir dives in a dummy half. McCarran, Newton and Carter will all be involved in that tackle and push Keir back once more, and pushed him back pretty much to where he got the ball from. It's going to be 5 and last, back over in the Batley half. So White's in there trying to put the pressure on here, goes to Hurley, and there's no one going to put any pressure on Josh Woods, and this could be needs to speak. Oh, it bounces very, very kindly. Oh, Joey Romeo, oh my God. And then it's got to be a penalty for offside after all that. They knew that. They knew that, did Whitehaven. I'm telling you, they knew that. Christ.
Played for and got, yeah. Oh, a bit of a circus act there, but yeah, I think, to be fair, Callum Shaw did the right thing. You don't let a ball bounce, but when it's like that,
he didn't have a clue where he was. He was looking round his right shoulder. He was looking round his left. You're brave saying that round, are you? So the ball is found into touch. It'll be Curtis T that takes it just over halfway and elects to take it himself. Does the former England community Lion? He'll play this ball 38 metres out from the Batley line. Hugh Worthington is now the man to fetch it forward. He makes 10 metres there, does Worthington. Ackroyd in there at dummy half, comes left to Carter. Carter then takes the line on himself because Elliot Keir had spotted the ball was coming to Joey Romeo and just caught that at the last minute to Carter. Ackroyd's in at dummy half, 20 metres out. King now. You can tell he's not his usual self, he's Ryan King, but he's doing a job out there for Whitehaven. 17 metres out now, comes to this left hand side, in hands of Newton. Newton puts a kick in, McCannon's on the chase, and it's going to have to be knocked dead there by Dale Morton. Now, James Newton will look me a bit, he's not the best kicking in the world, but that was a fantastic kick there from the normal Whitehaven hooker.
Yeah, absolutely, it was never going dead, especially because of how good the running was as well. The runners were there, and yeah, he's just he forced Morton, I think it was, to put it into touch. So yeah, we'll see what Whitehaven can do from here, but yeah, building that pressure. If you can build pressure up the hill and try and not defend all the time, that certainly helps, especially in Whitehaven's situation right here.
Hannigan collects just over the halfway, obviously going down the hill here at Mount Pleasant, and finds Worthington has made it to just over his own 40. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half, now finds King offers it up, but takes the line on himself and he's going to be pulled down just short of his own, of the Batley 30 here is King. Into the middle, comes left now with Worthington once more. And then he's pulled down.
On King every time as well. You see, they know about his offloading game. 22
metres out. Into the middle with Hannigan. Pops it up. Likes to take line on himself as Hannigan nearly gets under the tackle. I think that'll be in the fourth. It's going to be 15 metres out. Trying to get up with a fast play of the ball. Cameron Worsley shakes his head, says it isn't a 6 again. Carter plays knocked down, and it's going to be knocked down by... It's going to be knocked down by Dame Manning. Read it perfectly there, did Dame Manning, from the early kick on Carter, and it's going to be playing these 32 metres out from their own line of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he does everything to the book, does Dame Manning. He's just so consistent. He's just he is the man of steel for Batley, to be fair, and he's done well there. He's got that skill with the ball, and it's an offside as well.
No, it's not. It's a push in the tackle. This was Whitehaven's issue last week, was ill discipline. The penalty count at half-time at Craven Park last week was 6-0 in favour of the Raiders, and it was only 14-10 at half-time. If it wasn't that sort of penalty count, what could it have been? What would that score have finished? That doesn't matter now though, because we're in. Well, we make it within the final 2 minutes. The scoreboard's still telling me 5. We'll soon find out which one's right, but Batley's now the man to fetch it forward, and they're going to be pulled down less than 20 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Whitehaven will want to hold out. Don't want to be conceding another try before the half-time break. Ollie Burton's out there now. In there, the dummy half goes left to Woods, comes across to White, and White just steps up, and they're going to be in, I think. Yeah, he's going to be in there. He's Ben White on that left-hand side. Just stood up enough for the defence just to open up a gap. It's his 7th try of the season for the Batley halfback. It's their 3rd try of the afternoon. It's Bulldogs 16, Haven 6.
I'm not going to call it Ladam busting try, because I think that could be the next one if there is another one before half time. We're saying there's about a minute and a half on our clock, and there's 4 minutes on the officially unofficial clock, so we'll have to see. But yeah, it's 16-6 currently with a kick to come. It's certainly tougher than the ones he's had previously, but we've got, Whitehaven got to make sure that they don't concede again before half time. We had a chat before the game. We said if they're going to be attacking downhill, Batley in the first half, if Whitehaven can be within 2 scores, they've done well. Now it is now 2 scores, so that we're at the almost the point of no return if our conversation holds up. That is, so we'll see what Woods can do with this. He's currently setting up. Should be about 50 seconds left after his kick list, but we don't know for sure. So we'll.
Lucas Castle's getting ready to go back onto the field, so Whitehaven maybe think it's a little bit closer than we certainly do. We'll keep an eye on that. Sure. As Woods is going to come at it left-footed. And misses, so that'll be in favour of Whitehaven. Doesn't miss all too often. No. There's Josh Woods, and it is Batley 16, Haven 6. Here at Mount Pleasant, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. So we'll wait and see, because we're about to make it into the final 20 seconds. I don't know what the Whitehaven fans are booing for, I'll be completely honest. It's Hugh Worthington, the man that's going to be leaving the field. Clock is stopped, so I make it with 10 seconds to go.
Could it have been Hugh rather than a boo?
No.
Not.
Our fans are clever. They're not that quite clever. They're not that clever.
I'll give it to him after.
See if there's any scores from elsewhere. Just while we wait to get back underway. It's Halifax 8, Bradford 10, Swinton 14, Doncaster 16 at half time at Harewood Road. Dropped down into League 1, Hunslet 10, Midland 6, Keighley 16, Rochdale 16. We're back underway. Kick-off's allowed to bounce, and it's going to go all the way back to the try line. 9, mate, we're about to have the hooter, but no, timekeeper doesn't look anywhere interested, so I've obviously missed something. Well, let's go. Did I maybe not stop it for the stoppage with Hugh Worthington early on? Maybe, we'll soon find out. Scoreboard's got 2.5 to go.
Yeah, he's probably right.
As now Cooper is the man to fetch it forward. Cooper will play this ball just over his own 20, and Ollie Burton, who's out there, is going to dive out from dummy half, but soon met by the Whitehaven defence led by Carter, King, Ackroyd involved as well. Goes into the hands of Cooper once more. 2 minutes to go to the scoreboard clock here at Mount Pleasant. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's a 5 and last, and the Bulldogs will be short of halfway. Ollie Burton's in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of Woods, and Woods will just get the kick in, but Cannon looking for the charge down, collected on the full by Callum Shaw, nearly lost it, did the winger, but then he's able to fetch the ball forward and wrapped up 30 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, he likes putting the Whitehaven fans' blood pressure through the roof, but it's good defending from Batley. To be fair, they just need to hold out, get a completed set under the belts here, Whitehaven, and hopefully the half-time whistle won't be too far away.
Dean Gebby is the man to play the ball. Ackroyd finds in dummy half, 15 metres scooting there, able to pick it up one-handed was the Bradford Bulls low knee. Hannigan's in a dummy half, and he's now with Dean Gebby once more, and he's going to try and side-step his way through, gets the offload away into the hands of Lucas Castle, put down onto his back. It's the 5 and last, 40 metres out from the Batley line, and Newton's going to put the kick in himself. It goes end over end. Morton's going to have to get there and collects it, puts the knee down to the floor. Hannigan's in front of him, helps him complete the tackle. Carter's in there as well, as is James Newton, who initially put the kick in. Scoreboard says we're 40 seconds away from half time.
it's a good set. It is a good set. Just need to be clean with the defending here. So just make sure they don't give any cheap meters away, because as we know that as much as we won't make too much difference, we know that Woods can kick a drop goal. So
yes, he certainly can. He's kicked 4 so far this season, including one against Haven back in that round 4 victory at the recreation ground. Woods goes left into the hands then of Hooley, looking to stand back inside. 15 seconds the scoreboard says to the half-time hooter, and they're going to play this on halfway. Hooley's in there at dummy half, comes across to Woods. Woods just pops it up into the hands then of Niall Flynn. We're about to have the hooter, I think. Timekeeper has got his hand on the hooter. We're going to get the 5 and last in. Woods isn't interested, but it's a huge spiral bomb. Callum Shaw right underneath that. Good work from the winger, and there is the hooter here at Mount Pleasant. Batley 16, Whitehaven 6. Don't see, it's normally the match officials calling the players to get out, but this is BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Whitehaven have 40 minutes to save their championship status. We're back underway here at Mount Pleasant. Carter with the kickoff, going to be collected on the full, and then it'll be Michael Ward, who's at half-time interchange. Didn't see him before the half-time break. He's a half-time interchange for the Bulldogs, but he's going to be wrapped up just short of his own 20. Goes right now. And the Bulldogs will make it to just short of their own 30 through Cooper. Cooper plays the ball. Miller's still out there in a dummy half. Scoots does Miller, and he's going to make 10 metres or so before being wrapped up. Tia and McCannon involved in that tackle. 12 short of halfway are the Bulldogs. It's now Niall Flynn will be the man to fetch it forward. That's him. Lassie's back again. She nearly just knocked. She was nearly bottled of Yazoo on that occasion. I'm about to get a coffee spilled over me as well now. Michael Ward is going to be the man that plays it. Comes left into the hands of Wood. It is the 5 and last. Woods is going to put the kick in. Bounces kindly into the hands of Callum Shaw. And the winger will fetch this ball forward midfield and going to play it 15 short, or maybe 16, 17 metres short of his own line. Carter in there at dummy half. Now Curtis T is the man to fetch it forward. He's going to be pushed back a metre or 2 there. He's Curtis Tier, plays it exactly on the 20. Now Owen McCarran will be the man to fetch it forward, going through centre field, but he's still short of his own 30. Ackroyd comes right then into the hands of a Dean Gebby. Papua New Guinean's trying to force his way through, but he's not able to do so. Ackroyd in a dummy half goes left into the hands of Lucas Castle, and Castle will be the man who bets down just short of halfway, only a metre or so. It is the 5 and last, going to come right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan going to get that kick away with pressure being put on him from Moore, and it's up in the air. It's going to be allowed to bounce. It bounces back into that. I was just about to say bounces back into the hands of Hannigan, but Woods has just beat him before it. But then Hannigan's able to just wrap up the Batley halfback, and he's gingerly getting up and playing this ball.
Yeah, almost like the bomb in the first half down for Whitehaven. They were just Batley putting it up, and just Whitehaven nowhere near it. They didn't want to barrel out, but they managed to get the bounce of the ball their way. Talking about the first carry of the half, Michael Ward, the absolute luxury of being able to have a forward on the bench that's not done a minute in the first half, unlike Whitehaven, who are really, really doing it tough.
Joe Burton's the man to scoot from dummy half. The winger, he's just fetched the ball just over halfway into the hands now of Ben White. Josh Woods is going to get himself back into the attacking line, but he's limping heavily. He's Josh Woods following that shot on Lachlan Hannigan. And it's now going to be the 5 and last. The Bulldogs 38 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Moves in there at dummy half. It'll be White to put the pressure on. And now Gebby's underneath that. He's the Papua New Guinean. Takes it standing still. Tries to get away from 1 on 2. But you're not going to get away from Michael Ward. Hannigan's dove in at dummy half. 12-13 metres out. As Will Evans will now be the man to try and fetch Whitehaven forward. He's brought down just a metre short of his own 20. And the ball's lost. Is it going to be? It is a straight knock on. And he'll say he's have his arms trapped there by Will Evans, but he said you're going to have to wait and get up and play that ball correctly. It would scrum down, head and feed to the Bulldogs, and they're going to start 20 metres out from Whitehaven's line. Yeah,
it's very tough. I mean, it was Hooley who put the bomb up for Gebby there, so he could be getting more of the kicking duties if Woods. He's not looking in the best way. He's having a little hobble about, but I think he's wanting to run it off, but hopefully not literally. I mean,
he's struggling out there. He's Josh Woods. But they'll play this, feed the scrum, 20 metres, and the ball's nearly lost in and amongst that scrum. Murray goes right into the hands of White. White stands up, and then he's going to be brought down. He's Ben White. 11 metres out. Moore comes across then now to Cooper. Cooper's then brought down, in line with the right-hand side post, 3-4 metres out. 6 again in favour of the home side, comes left, into the hands of White, now Woods, then comes to get to the knock of the cross, into the hands of Buchanan, and Buchanan spins out to the tackle. I thought initially he blew it there to Kidd and Buchanan by not passing to Burton on this left-hand side, but Rio Courtnall wasn't able to hold up Buchanan, and he's gone over for his 6th try of the season. And that defence, that error in attack I should say from Whitehaven, from Will Evans, they've been forced to pay for it there, and it's now the Bulldogs 20, Whitehaven 6.
I mean, the Batley players are laughing with Buchanan, but my word, he's got away with one there, because it was such an open try for his winger, but he decided to go it alone, and he's got there in the end. But still, yeah, it's one for Woods to kick from the corner, but yeah, it's already, I mean, we've only just started the second half, we're about 5 minutes in, but time might be just against Whitehaven. They might need to throw caution to the wind and the rain here at Batley if they're going to get back into the game. They need to do it quick time really, because Batley are looking good, especially with the forwards being able to come on. The fresh, the complete contrast to Whitehaven's current predicament.
Certainly is. I'm saying about fresh interchanges, Josh Woods, he's struggling there, isn't he?
I don't even. I wasn't going to say this, but he might not be able to reach with this kick. But
well, yeah,
you never know.
I hope so. He's going to come at it left-footed.
He's
Josh Woods.
Absolutely going to nail this now.
Easy,
straight through the sticks.
Yeah. It'll be straight and true from Josh
wave
Woods.
At me afterwards. Hello.
That'll do.
Not quite. He's reached. Though.
He's done. It's gone over the left-hand side post.
He wants to be anywhere else but here.
No comment. Batley 20, Whitehaven 6. Woods misses, and it is. He's hobbling away. Mark Moxon surely just want to pull him off there. I mean, I know you don't want to lose a half-back, but they've got people out there who could slip in if need to into that.
Uli can kick as well. He can put himself about as well. So
kick-off collected by Joe Burton, and Dean Gebby's going to be right on top of him.
He didn't fancy getting up.
Well, I wouldn't against Dean Gebby. We had that conversation in the first half. Michael Ward, now that's a man I wouldn't want to run against either. Michael Ward. Is that? It's going to be a penalty, you'd see. It's silly. Just got caught in the tackle. The King got his arm, and Ward knew essentially he just had to hit the floor. And you're going to get the penalty. The cracking story about Michael Ward is about the World Cup. How he resigned from his job to go and play in the World Cup. And then I'm right in thinking, unfortunately, he didn't see a minute.
Yeah, he didn't get on the pitch,
which didn't go down well.
Not particularly, no. He didn't need to be a maths teacher to work out how many minutes he got. That's for sure. It's bad.
Michael Ward is now the man and king.
Lord, wow, any higher he'd have missed.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's sent him off. No.
I mean,
you obviously weren't at Craven Park last week. Whoever shouted that?
It's not touch rugby.
No, it's not. No, it's
not yet.
Isn't. No, not.
I mean, he's going to have a word, but I think it's just one of those. Calm down. Don't do it again.
Yeah. It certainly will be. Just needs to king. I think he said he's come off the.
Oh my God!
Wow!
Oh my Lord!
Oh my God! Cameron Worsley. I initially thought he said he'd come off the chest.
Yeah,
first.
I think he does.
So that's what I thought he said.
Well.
That's the case. Ryan King saying 10 minutes.
Wow.
Which
I thought he was trying to explain. Cameron Worsley was trying to explain why it was an eye tackle to him, but we know that. But it's 10 minutes in the bin and behind the 8 ball completely now. Whitehaven. If they can seal this out and seal the 10 minutes out without conceding, then it'd be a win, a big win. But Batley now 10 metres out and looking like they've got numbers all over the pitch really.
Manning plays the ball, goes into the middle now with Cooper. Cooper slips on what he's obviously getting a ever-increasing slippery surface here at Mount Pleasant. Conditions aren't pleasant as Miller goes right into the hands of Woods, pops it up then into the hands of White, goes across into the hands of Hurley. Hurley steps up. And he's going to be brought down there. He's Hurley, 2-3 metres out, and Whitehaven are going to make a double interchange. Comes across now to White. Ackroyd puts a shot in on Flynn, but Flynn's able to recover and then make 3 or 4, 5 extra metres. Sort of 6-7 metres out now are the home side. Moves in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of White. White then comes across to Woods. Woods comes across to Hurley. Hurley throws the dummy, and Whitehaven will try and hold him up, and they are going to hold up the Castleford dual edge man. just in case you missed it in the first half, we are wondering how he's playing, because he played a full 80 minutes, I believe, for Cass on Thursday night. Don't suppose you got a reply on your tweet, did you?
I didn't. No one really does.
Don't know one knows these Joe Reg and Lone Mills. It's a 5 and last. Woods puts the kick in. Callum Shaw rises the highest and has done well to stay in the field. The players well there, Callum Shaw, but he's going to play this 2 metres away from his own line as now Dean Gebby looks to step through. He's nearly through. Is the Papua New Guinean. Lucas Castle leaves the field to be replaced by Hugh Worthington. And it's now going to be Curtis Tier. It'll be Sam Ackroyd who's going to leave the field as well, as Bobby Hartley's gone out there. So I think just getting some more middles in there to replace Ryan King. Now McCannon will be the man to fetch it forward. McCannon's going to be put down, but Whitehaven still short of their own 20 here. Comes into the hands now with fresh onto the field Hugh Worthington as he's picked up and dumped. It's going to be the 5 and last. Gets a quick play of the ball. Newton's going to try and get the kick in from dummy half. Gets it away to Carter. Carter's going to have to run. They're going to play here to Whitehaven. It bounces into the hands of Shaw. Shaw's not looking for the kick over the top. McCannon's going to be there. Shaw's going to be there. The kick goes on and Callum Shaw could be there. Hurley's going to have to get back and dives on him. Does Callum Shaw. A bit of enterprise and play after what was initially a poor fifth tackle option from Whitehaven.
What a brilliant result that is. The Batley now starting deep in their own half, and again we spoke about this so much. Just don't concede a penalty. Just keep your discipline and just make sure that you're starting your attacking set in as good a position as you possibly can.
Well, we know the scoreboard clock's not right. It's stuck. So we're about to tick over into the 50th minute as we make it here. I'll just tick onto the 50th minute, so into the 51st minute here at Mount Pleasant as Batley continue to fetch this ball forward. Going to be pulled down just short of his own 40 there is Luke Hooley. 5 and last. White will get the kick in from dummy half. And Johnny Romeo will allow it to bounce, but he bounces kindly for the Australian, and he's now on his own 20, continuing to fetch the ball forward. He's going to make his own 30, keeps his legs pumping and put down onto his back 33 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, good start to the set. Need to build the pressure now with Gebby, who's running it in and over the 40 and
it's going to quick.
Yeah,
plays the ball. He's got away with that one.
He has, yeah.
Will Evans is going to take Whitehaven over the halfway line. He just touched the ball with his foot there.
I don't even think he did that, to be fair, but yeah, it's one of those.
Into the hands of Gebby again. It'll need to be a better play of the ball here. But he's pulled down 30 metres away from the Batley line.
Better, yeah.
Goes into the hands now of Worthington. Trying to get his arm free for the offload and does find James Newton. Goes left into the hands of Hartley. Now Carter. Then finds Owen McCannon. McCannon's in on the left hand side. Trying to find the corner. That is Owen McCannon. And he has done. He's got the ball down in that left hand side. Fantastic work from Whitehaven. You thought it'd have been the home side that were down a man there. And it's McCannon with his 4th try of the season for the Australian. It's Batley 20, Whitehaven 10.
We talk about chancing your arm, throwing caution to the wind. It wasn't so much that, but it was the offload from Hugh Worthington that creates the numbers, even though the numerical disadvantage is at Whitehaven's door at the minute. And yeah, brilliant. Owen McCarron has got an eye for a try. He loves a try, and he's got one there. And 20 points to 10, it's right in the corner, so it's a tough kick, but either way it's still going to be a 2-score deficit. But it gives Whitehaven that little bit of hope that they need. They just need to, that we've been saying, just keep the discipline. I know it's not as simple as that, but it's you're really not chasing the game at the minute. You just try and build that pressure, and hopefully you can get some rewards, just like McCarron's try there.
Swinton have levelled it up at home, so it's Swinton 16, Doncaster 16, still Halifax 8, Bradford 10, Hunslet 12, Midlands 12, Keighley 24, Rochdale 12 in the League One playoffs. Back here at Mount Pleasant, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. Hannigan, who must be half an inch in from that from the touchline, 22-23 metres on the straight, but plenty of angle involved here for the Australian. Comes at it now, right-footed. Lachlan Hannigan. No, I thought they just held the second there, did the touch judge. Must have fallen wide of the wide right-hand side post, and he remains here. Batley 20, Whitehaven 10, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online.
Yeah, he was looking at the ball as soon as he struck it, and it's almost like he's trying to guide it in after kicking it. But yeah, it's don't think it'd have been too far away. He was still having a good look at it as it was flying past. But yeah, a brilliant response to Batley's opening try in the second half, and we'll see what they can do from here. Oh my lord.
Lachlan Hannigan drops it from the kick-off, and when you just said you need to complete, you need to ensure that you get that set done, you can't do straight from the kick-off. Scrum down, head and fade to the Bulldogs. 10 metres out. The floodlight in front of me just obscured my vision, but you seem to have seen it straight away, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, straight down his throat, but I think it's just the pace of the kick-off that's done him there, and yeah, I think he's almost tried to jump as well when he really didn't need to, but yeah, it's a tough one to take that. 10 metres out now, Batley got the scrum, and here we go.
Into the hands of White. White pops it up into the hands of Elliot Keir. Gets away from Newton's not going to get away from Hugh Worthington. He isn't going to get away from Hannigan, who's trying to make up for that error. Keir plays the ball, comes left now into the hands of Michael Ward. Newton there. Hannigan's in there involved once more, as is Joey Romeo as well. Moore goes right into the hands then of Woods. Woods comes across into the hands then of Cooper. Cooper's going to be hauled down just short. Comes left. Fantastic man and ball tackle from Lachlan Hannigan. Worthington helps him complete it. Still a couple of tackles left. Mover's going to look to go right, and they're just going to pull down the Batley man of Whitehaven. 5 and last, one more to survive. Josh Woods gets the ball, trying to put down a kick towards the corner. Buchanan and Whitehaven are able to survive, get Buchanan into touch. Fantastic defensive set from Whitehaven. They're able to survive. We make it 25 and a half to go here at Mount Pleasant. Batley 20, Haven 10.
Showing character by the bucket load there, Whitehaven. Absolutely brilliant in defence. And Gebby, we know what he can be like. He can be a little bit of a penalty machine at times. Like we've been saying, he can win a game, he can lose a game, but he's waited and waited and waited. Showed great patience for Buchanan to catch that ball. He's not tackled him in the air. He's wrapped him up, and Will Evans were there as well to help him out and put him into touch for the turnover.
Corkhill now, man to fetch it forward. This is second tackle. The Nigerian international's taken down just on his own 20, pretty much in its centre field. Curtis Tier is now the man. Only made 4 to 5 metres there is Curtis Tier. The Batley line speed once again on point. Goes left from dummy half into the hands then of Worthington. Worthington's going to make 10 metres or so. There is the Welsh international and keeps his legs pumping, and has actually ended up making sort of just short of 15 metres as the Welsh international. Newton in a dummy half comes right into the hands of McCarran. McCarran, who of course will miss next week with his 2-match suspension following that punching incident with Greg Worthington, but it's the 5 and last. Newton's going to put the kick in from dummy half once more, and it's going to run end over end over end. Hannigan's putting the chase on. Burton's there, and Lachlan Hannigan, fantastic again from Whitehaven. Whitehaven know they need to get this into this game. They need to get back into this game. That was all about the chase from Lachlan Hannigan, and it was Jake Carter that was able as well to complete the tackle, force the goal line drop out.
Can we check if James Newton's got this ball on a string, because that is unbelievable. For one in the first half was good, but that is absolutely exceptional. It's held up perfectly. I think Burton knew it. He's not really dilly-dallied with it. He knows he has to pick it up and try and drive it out, but that defence is unbelievable. So yeah, we're just Whitehaven will start about 30 metres shy of the Batley line here. So here we go.
So Hartley play the ball. King's getting ready to call back on down to our right hand side. Owen McCarran running hard there is the Australian. Whitehaven aren't writing this off. They know what they need to do to stay in the championship. Goes down the short side into the hands of Tia. Tia comes back. She calls for the high shot on Curtis Tia. Cameron Wers is not interested. 10 metres out. Comes right now into the hands of Carter. Comes across to Hugh Worthington. And Worthington's going to be taken down. King still waiting to come on. Whitehaven still playing with 12. Comes right into the hands of Carter. Now Hannigan over the top to a Dean Gebby in this right hand side corner. Gets it back inside. The Joey Romeo and Whitehaven are in. 2 tries while King's been off the field. My notes are absolutely everywhere. It's Joey Romeo's 7th try of the season, and Whitehaven have scored 2 while down to 12. They've reduced the deficit to 6 points. It's Batley 20, Haven 14.
Pass the ball at Ingebby somewhere. Oh my God, what an offload that is. We can't really see too much here. I mean, Jordan stood up, so he might have saw a little bit more than me. But he looked like, for all the world, he were in touch and he were going into touch, but he's just managed to produce an offload. He's absolutely perfect. And now 20 points to 14. It is game very much on here. Game very much on. It's another tough kick here from the corner, but 20 points to 14. I mean, what character. I mean, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff from Whitehaven. Doing it short, doing it tough, but doing it Lehaven way.
This rugby league club will kill me. I'm telling you, they will kill me. Lachlan Hannigan will put the ball down on the tees. Yet again, half a metre in. maybe a little bit more on this occasion. Batley 20, Whitehaven 14. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. The Australian lining up the conversion. Come at it right-footed. Make it 21.5 to go here at Mount Pleasant. Hannigan comes at it now, right-footed. Lachlan Hannigan. Oh, I thought that had gone over. So does Kyle Amor and Sam Ackroyd. It must have just gone over, or just over the right-hand side post. It was tight. It was so tight. It reminds me of the Danny Buff drop goal against Huddersfield all them years ago against St Helens in the Challenge Cup.
Luke Cooley's from the corner at Wembley in the 1895 Cup final last year. That was very close.
That was as well.
About as close as that. So unbelievable.
Batley 20, Whitehaven 14. We're back underway here at Mount Pleasant. Into the 60th minute. Bobby Hartley, that's another error coming out there. It's a slippy ball. You've got to pick it up, and it's going to be initially going to say Walshaw. Is it Walshaw? Yeah, Walshaw knocks it forward, so it'll be one-on-one scrum, and it's going to have to be another heroic defensive effort from Whitehaven as Adam Gledhill gets ready to come back on for the Bulldogs.
I know what you were saying about this club killing you, because but Bobby Hartley's not done anything wrong. That's his first. Yeah. That's the first thing he's done wrong today. But he's in such a tough position, and he's gone back offside there. So don't think. He's giving it. And that's a 2.
Yeah, you'd imagine they'll take the 2. Odds of the sense danger.
Got to be 2.
They're going to have to go the 2 here now. Batley just to take them back up to a 2 score advantage. But it is Batley 20, Whitehaven 14. I've just ticked over the hour mark here at Mount Pleasant. What are the scores doing elsewhere? Swinton have taken the lead, so at the moment it doesn't matter what Whitehaven do here. Swinton 20, Doncaster 16, Halifax 10, Bradford 10, drop down into League One, Hunslet 12, Midlands 14, Keighley 26, Rochdale 12. Whitehaven need Doncaster to do them a favour at Haywood Road.
We found out why Doncaster weren't favourites now, I think. Yeah. That's unbelievable. Wowzers.
Josh Woods will line up his penalty attempt from right in front, 18 out or so, not even that far, and he knocks it over the 2 points. There's Josh Woods. So it is Batley 22, Whitehaven 14 here at Mount Pleasant, and they're into what could be their final 19 minutes of their stay in the Championship. Obviously they have got next week, but as it stands, doesn't matter what they do here, they will still be relegated this afternoon.
Yeah, the last 2 kickoffs that Batley have done and Haven have spilled both, so I think Haven a due one. I think trying to get that commentary curse in, but it's going to be tough from here. But it's a swirling kick.
Bounces.
Yes.
Dan Fowler, can you come every week? Can you come every week? That is bounced in the field of play. A hell of a kick-off from Whitehaven, from Jake Carter, and James Newton goes and congratulates. And Whitehaven are going to get scrummed down. Well, is it a play scrum down to play the ball these days, isn't it? So yes, and it'll be 15 metres out. Fantastic from Whitehaven. Exactly what they needed.
I'm not sure if Buchanan got a call to say that we're going out or on the full, but it didn't. So yeah, it's 10 metres out now, and an absolute golden opportunity for Whitehaven to cut it again to 1 score.
Comes right now into the hands of Bobby Hartley. Hartley's nearly through there. It's the young man from the Leeds Rhinos. 2-3 metres out to the right hand side of the post. In towards him, with Worthington, and it wasn't. I think the pass was just too fast from James Newton. Bit too much on that, and he wasn't able to take it. On the run was the Welshman. 18 minutes to go, just under as we make it. Batley 22, Whitehaven 14. Need to try and force the error down here.
Yeah, definitely so. Like a composure there, I think. But you can't blame him. At this point, you can't blame him. I know there's still just under 20 minutes to go, about 18 left on the clock. It's such a tough situation, because you've got to build the pressure there. You've got to build the pressure, and they've just not done that. Like you say, they're coming from deep low, so just make sure you're not compounding it with another error, another penalty.
Bulldogs fetch the ball forward. Keys in there at dummy half, and now Cooper once more is the man to fetch it forward. Murray's in at dummy half now. Kia drives in front of him. Fantastic work from James Newton. And going to push Kia back there as well. Continue to push him back, and the Welsh international actually lost ground there from dummy half. Fantastic work from James Newton. Sam Ackroyd's getting ready to come back on down below us here for Whitehaven. Batley still short of their own 30. Gledhill plays it, Moore in there at dummy half. Flynn, he slips in the tackle.
No.
Oh no! How? He slipped? Oh, Cameron Worsley, come on, he slipped.
I can honestly say there's not even a hint of bias here, because that is just unbelievable. He's slipped and he's... Oh my word. Wow. So Hooley will kick this penalty. It'll go into the Whitehaven half.
Will it? Will it?
Yeah,
yes, it will.
It's just...
Honest to God.
My Lord. Oh my Lord.
I'm not saying anything because I'll get sacked. Buchanan, man to fetch it forward, takes the tap. Dean Gebby hits him, but he's still going, he's Buchanan. And eventually put down 7 metres out, 10 metres in from this near touch line. Burton goes right into the hands of Manning. The score here, it's all over, let's be completely honest. Moore goes right into the hands of Woods. Woods goes across the line into the hands of Ben White. White then comes across to Walshaw. Walshaw's going to be the man that's taken down. Still 7 or 8 metres out, now the Bulldogs here. Keys in there at dummy half, comes across to White. White just pops it up to Gledhill and goes back where the ball head came from. And he's taken down. 3-4 metres out to the right hand side of the post. Keys in there at dummy half. Comes across now to White. White, Newton's there once more. Comes across to Woods. Woods just pops it up to Manning, and there's a gap that's opened up. Manning gets it back then to Brandon Moore. Comes left now into the hands of Woods. Woods just pops it up to Buchanan. Buchanan's nearly through. Comes away from one, but he's going to be taken down. 5 and last, one more for Whitehaven to survive. Moore goes into the hands of White. White then, surely that was a knock on. 40 had dropped it at Ben White. 40 had dropped it. And is that the dagger, the final nail in the coffin for Whitehaven survival hopes here at Mount Pleasant? White puts the kick forward and gets on the end of it. It's his 7th try of the season. And that could be the final dagger through the hearts of Whitehaven. It's Batley 26, it's Whitehaven 14.
Oh, such an unorthodox grubber. I think that's what made it look like a knock-on, but it's one of those that it's fallen perfectly, as well as it's the right weight and everything, but it's come from a penalty that we think is not a penalty, but you got to defend as best as you can, and they have done. But I think that might be the one. That might be all she wrote. This will be a 3-score lead after this has gone over from Luke Hooley, not Josh Woods.
Yeah, Hooley's taken over the kicking duties, and James Newton is the man to have left the field. Sam Ackroyd replaces him. He's put in a great stint this afternoon as James Newton.
Absolutely brilliant.
In his testimonial, this isn't the way he'll have wanted to end it, of course, but Hooley, Luke Blake's getting ready to come back on for the Bulldogs as well. Hooley comes at it now right-footed and slots it over, so it is now Batley 28, Whitehaven 14. I've said this before, it'll have to be late and it would have to be great from Whitehaven, but as it stands they will be playing League One rugby next season, and surely now it's got to be put everything into the bank. Swinton 20, Doncaster 22, so if Whitehaven can get back into it at the moment, it goes to next week, but there's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes in this. Carter with the kick-off. He's able to collect it, Buchanan on that occasion, but Worthington is there to try and complete the tackle. Gets away from that, gets away from Ackroyd, gets away from Corkill, and now Buchanan's running down the middle of the field. Bobby Hartley gets back, and he's brought down 38 metres away from his own line, rather than what could have been 8 metres away, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, it's a great run from Buchanan. I mean, he's done well to take the kick off, to be fair. I mean, I know he didn't get anywhere near the last one, but he's made amends and more there, and Batley are over halfway through the set as well, and looking to really, beyond any doubt, kill this game.
Moore's in there at dummy half, goes right. White now finds Walshaw. Walshaw's going to be taken down, and that does take some doing. Lucas Castle getting ready to come back on for Whitehaven down below us. Plays the ball, Keys in there at dummy half. White pops it up to Luke Blake. Blake's going to be the man that's wrapped up, taken down. 5 and last, 23 metres out. In at centre field. Comes left now into the hands of Weir. Josh Woods. Woods is going to put the kick just high into the sky. Joey Romeo is there. And that... See, I've got to say, and it's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven. I don't think... Initially, I thought it should have been for the tackle in the air, but as Kyle Amor was having the same conversation, I think it's going to be the reaction of maybe James Brown that was in there. Clock is stopped. We make it 11:45 to go here at Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, it's as close as you can possibly get to a tackle in the air towards, and James Brown is
James
in the
Brown's
bin.
going to see
I mean,
10.
is this evening it up after?
Well, I don't know what it was for. It can only be a reaction.
He's got to either have said something or he's done something on the ground, a bit of niggle on the ground maybe. But yeah, it's free scores. 10, just over 10 minutes left. Spread the ball, and let's see what we can do.
Halifax 14, Bradford 10. Will Evans takes a tap just short of halfway. Lucas Castle back onto the field for out there for Ryan King. Dean Gebby now the man to fetch it forward, nearly through is the Papua New Guinean, looking for someone in support, but Ackroyd's going to be the man that dives in his dummy half as he's taken down 30 metres out into the middle now with Lucas Castle. They are looking to spread the ball here at Whitehaven. Carter finds McAdam. McAdam comes steps back inside, and the Australian's taken down. Ackroyd comes right into the hands of Castle, pops back up for Hugh Worthington. Worthington finds his front, 15 metres out, goes left into the hands of Castle, finds Carter. Carter comes across to McCarran. McCannon's going to be wrapped up. Whitehaven within 10 metres here. 5 and last. Repeat set minimum you feel needed. As the sun's starting to break through here at Mount Pleasant. Goes left into the hands of Carter. Carter finds Joey Romeo. Romeo gets the offload away to Castle. Into the hands of McCarran. Does he get the ball down? He's held up over the line. He's over McCarran. It was Harlem Globetrotters-esque there from Whitehaven. But Batley's defence survived. 10.5 to go here at Mount Pleasant.
He almost deserved the try for the pick-up because that was unbelievable. It'll be, like we've been saying, it'll be a bar of soap, and it's bounced on the ground, it's bounced at his feet, and he's managed to pick it up in one fell swoop. But just Batley managing with their 12 men to get to him and hold him up on the last tackle.
Moves in there at dummy half. Gledhill will now be the man to fetch it forward. He's wrapped up 23 metres out. Weir. Batley continue to fetch it forward. I think that could be Flynn, is it? Either way, 30 metres out from their own line. Continue now to the Bulldogs. It is Luke Blake. Knock on there from Brandon Weir potentially. I think he come off his foot beforehand. Referee Camden Worsley waves it away to 5 and last. And they are short of halfway here. Muir's in there at dummy half. Gledhill plays the ball, trying to put the charge down. Oh, McAdam was inches away. Joey Romeo does very, very well to collect that high kick from Luke Hurley, and he's wrapped up 33 metres away from his own line. Evans is going to make 13 metres before getting the ball back inside Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan's then going to be taken down just over halfway. Romeo's in there at dummy half, comes right into the hands of Gebby, potential of forward. The Batley fans around us definitely thought it was.
Yeah, very close. 25
metres out. Whitehaven. 9 minutes to go as we make it. 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. Jake Carter. So this will be 0 tackle. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle hits the floor. 10 metres out. In the middle of the field. Goes left into the hands of Worthington. Little fumble from the Welshman. And it's going to be a penalty here for offside. So Whitehaven's going to get another set of 6. I said he'd have to be late and it'd have to be great, but Whitehaven need to score, Dan Fowler. They need to score now.
How well they've done to get down the field in quick time as well. Some really quick play the balls, and they managed to slow it down, and they did get pinged for it in the end of Batley, and they're very close here, very close.
Carter finds Romeo over the top to Callum Shaw. He just couldn't take the ball. It was a bit too high from Joey Romeo for Callum Shaw. He had to jump to the former Hull FC man. And is that all she wrote?
Oh, Kyle Amor, he knows on the sideline. He's just looking into the distance, and such a big opportunity just missed. I won't say wasted, but it's
they've got to be taken.
Yeah, absolutely. In this stage of the game, for sure.
Batley have now made it up to the field. Niall Flynn back out there for Adam Gledhill. That's their final interchange. What a luxury that must be. Comes across now into the hands of Ben White. It was a slow play of the ball. They are over halfway. Castle and Worthington involved in the tackle. Moore's in there at dummy half. He's going to scoot and make 10, 12 metres. 28 metres out now. James Newton's getting ready to come back on down below us. Into the hands now with Hurley. Comes across to Manning. And Manning will be the one to take Batley forward. It's the 5 and last at 11 metres out. Buchanan goes right into the hands of Hurley. Hurley's going to go across field. It's relatively flat. Fantastic from Morton. Morton knocks it backwards. And they're all going to be offside as...
They've got to be offside.
It's got to be offside. It's got to be offside, but then it's going to be a penalty here. Either for a high tackle or offside, but there had to be... We've got it. Well, I was going to say, either way you look at it, it's either a high tackle or offside, because then, is it Walshaw? Walshaw's still back here. So there was all 12 of them were in front as he stopped the clock.
He kicked from the 20 and everyone were on the 5.
Yeah, so that's...
And then, and if he gives that straight away, then the injury doesn't happen either. So it's just one of those things. So we'll have to see what happens here as well. If it's a high shot, going by the letter of the law, we might
based on what we've seen so far this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's still Halifax 14, Bradford 10, Swinton 20, Doncaster 22, Hunslet 12, Midlands 14, Keighley 26, Rochdale 16. As it stands, Midlands will make the journey to Rochdale next week. And Ackroyd, I think, is he going to be okay? Is he going over for the HIA? I mean, might ever want to make an interchange. It's probably him leaving the field anyways, I think. Soon find out. Yeah, it is. So it is going to be an interchange. Whitehaven have somehow made 7 interchanges, despite only having 2 named on the bench.
I think they've done really well, to be fair, with how they manage those. I mean, you can't be going gun-co, can you, and replacing everyone every 10 minutes or so.
It's been called out here as Luke Hurley. It's been called out here as Luke Hurley.
Got to be.
Is it red?
Yellow.
Is it red or yellow? He's pointed.
It has
it's
to be,
yellow. So Batley are currently down to 12. 11, and will finish the game with 12. So it's got to be for a high tackle.
It has to be, yeah. How are you? I don't know how you can complain, to be fair, because it's one of those that if those previous 2 are yellow cards, then that one definitely is as well.
Ryan King will be Whitehaven's final interchange.
3 scores. They've got to score on this set. There's no time. There's hardly any time left. It'll be 6.5 minutes maybe.
Tia takes the tap. Whitehaven start on their own 40. Tia makes it to just short of halfway, only a metre or 2. Newton's in there at dummy half. Goes right into the hands then of Hugh Worthington.
The forwards have faced up really well today against the big Batley Pike. They've faced up really well.
40 metres out. Ball in lands now with Hannigan. Takes the dummy there. Does Hannigan nearly through the gap? The Australian's wrapped up. Newton's going to dive in at dummy half. Papua New Guinea and Dean Gebby tries to get round 1, tries to get round 2. It'd have been better just running it forward there with Gebby. Comes right now into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan looks to step back inside, gets the offload away into the hands of Newton. Now finds Gebby. Gebby pushes the man off. Comes across then to Lucas Castle. Whitehaven look a little bit devoid of ideas out there at the moment. Bobby Hartley has to dive on the ball. It's the 5 and last. 5.5 to go as we make it. Into the hands now of Hannigan. They're spreading it here. Carter into the hands of Tia. Tia's going to put a little kick forward. Kia's going to have to knock it dead. Did Callum Shaw get there? No, he knocks it dead at Kia. Goal line drop out forced. 5 minute 20 as we make it. Remaining here at Mount Pleasant. 28-14 to the home side.
That penalty goal has it's not killed the game, has it? But it's, if you're thinking it's 12 points behind, you've got a chance. 14 points behind with 5 minutes left. They're taking the time with the
full time at Haywood Road. Swinton 20, Doncaster 22. If Whitehaven can, I said it'd have to be late and great. If Whitehaven can, it will be go to next week. But they have got less than 5 minutes to score 14 points. Carter collects the goal line dropout on the Batley 30. Lucas Castle's now the man to fetch it forward. Put down onto his back is the Australian. Newton lining weight at dummy half. 25 metres out. Goes left to Carter. Carter comes back. Goes right into the hands of King. Now finds Worthington. There's gaps out there. Taken down. Put down onto his back. Newton's in there at dummy half. 15 metres out. Goes down this short side. Back into the hands now of Dean Gebby. Feel like they're trying to overutilise the Papua New Guinean out there at the moment. goes left into the hands of King. King takes it to the line, comes left to Carter. Carter then finds, you've got to pick that up. I think you've got to collect it and then look to go yourself or put the ball in. I'm not going to say anything against Curtis Sear. It's an idea, it just hasn't come off for him. It's trying to do like Harlem Globetrotters-esque stuff out there, but it is less than 4 minutes to go. Batley 28, Whitehaven 14.
Yeah, the idea is absolutely sound, but the
execution, unfortunately.
That's it, that is it, yeah. And 3.5, it'll probably be the slowest set of 6 from this 11-man Batley team, and who can blame them really? They're going to see out the game here, you would think. But Whitehaven will get the ball back and they'll see what they can do with it. But they'll get the ball back probably deep in their own territory.
Gledhill's now the man to fetch it forward. Sorry, that's Walshaw, my apologies. Walshaw's going to be put down onto his back.
They're all big men.
They are all big men. James Brown's getting ready to come back out there to make it 13 against 12 in favour of Whitehaven. Brandon Moore will play this ball 9 metres out. Comes into the hands now with Buchanan, and Buchanan will take his side over halfway. Newton, Hannigan and Cork are all involved. Less than 3 minutes to go now here at Mount Pleasant. Moore goes right and gets it, and it's going to be a penalty, and that is all she wrote here at Mount Pleasant. That will be the end of Whitehaven's stay in the championship. Penalty for offside. It is the Bulldogs' 8th penalty of the afternoon, and White's going to kick it to the corner, and it'll be 15 metres out here. Will the home side. Burton. Buchanan will take the tap, find Dame Manning. Manning will fetch it forward. Corkill, King, Newton, Hannigan, all trying to be involved in that tackle. The latter didn't get involved in the end up. 5 metres out, moves in there at dummy half, goes right into the hands now with James Brown. Brown pops it up. The Batley man bounces off. He's going to be pulled down 2 metres out. Is Luke Blake. Moves in there at dummy half, goes right, ball's knocked down by Joey Romeo, and it'll be a scrum down, head and feet to Batley as we're under the 2 minutes here at Mount Pleasant. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online.
Yeah, I think as it's dawning, it's no consolation obviously, but from the outside looking in, not watching Whitehaven every week, but I think the victory isn't being here today, to be honest. I think it's absolutely incredible what's happened in the last month or so. Just like you've been saying, I'm sure all Whitehaven fans would be saying the same as you, that it would be the death of you. But it's unbelievable how they've managed to rally, I guess, and they've done well today as well. But it's just not meant to be, unfortunately.
James Brown will now be the man to fetch it forward. This will be the second tackle. He's looking to get his arm free. He's the experienced forward, put down onto his back. He's 3-4 metres out, just to the right hand side of the post. Brandon Moore's looking to dive over from dummy half. He's going to be held up there. Good work from the Whitehaven defence, just to ensure Moore wasn't going to get the last score of the game here at Mount Pleasant. I make it into the final 65 second scoreboards, a little bit further behind us, but pretty much into the final minute now here at Mount Pleasant. Gledhill. Wouldn't surprise me if Josh Woods tries to knock one over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think he's out there anymore, is he, Woods?
No, he's...
Comes left now, into the hands of White actually, again comes across to Luke Blake.
Sure.
Blake's then going to be put down onto his back. It's the 5 and last. White's in there at dummy half, going to look to come left into the hands of Kia, and Will Evans looks to get it. It did come off. He knocked it down to the floor, and it will be a turnover ball. Clock is stopped for whatever it's worth. I make it 28 seconds to go here at Mount Pleasant. The scoreboard makes it round about 30 seconds, but that clock hasn't stopped. It'll be scrum down, head and feed to the home side.
I think that might just about sum the game up. I think it's so near and yet so far for Whitehaven. It's 4 points all day long if he takes it in. It's just a knock on.
Manning comes from the base of the scrum, goes right, goes cross one, and Tia helps complete the tackle alongside Owen McCarran. Comes across then to Brown, it's over the head of Brown, bounces into the hands of Luke Blake. Blake fetches the ball forward. I make time, he's up here at Mount Pleasant. Moves in there at dummy half. And there is the hooter. Adam Gledhill will look just to be the man to take the ball forward. Comes across to White. White puts the kick in behind, and it'll be Adine Gebby just to kick it behind the dead ball line. The final whistle will sound, and it brings down the curtain on Whitehaven State in the championship.